I think faith does have a role in business, and it's probably not an overt role in the way we would think about it, but for me, I think anybody who is pursuing a path of faith, particularly a faith like mine of following Jesus, is a person who's looking to develop themselves in terms of their character, and also someone who wants to be a benefit to people beyond themselves. And I think any of us would say, if I'm looking to invest in a business or an idea, to know that I'm talking to a person that has a level of character and a value set that guides their decisions, and also a person who wants to create opportunity for other people, not just better themselves, I think that's a win. Specifically for a startup, I think that faith has a role, because when it's a startup, you really are investing in an idea and you're investing in a person. I mean, at the end of the day, when it's a startup, you don't have a track record to go on, but what you do have to go on is, what do you think about this person, their character, their ability to deliver on the things they say they're going to do? And to that extent, I think a person of faith could play a unique role and actually have an advantage in the sense of having a track record and a community around them that says, here's who I am, here's what I stand for, and here's the direction I'm headed. I love the time that I've gotten to spend with the guys and gals who are starting businesses through Ocean. And for me, one of the things that I look at is they're at a time in their life where they're making major decisions and they face a lot of pressure. And I think the truth is that's going to test and reveal a person's character. And I think faith, particularly, again, the things that they've been learning through Ocean about following the way of Jesus, it really sets them up to be people, if they receive it and continue to grow in that, to be people who can deal with pressure well. There's a value set, there's a belief set that really helps them discern what are the right decisions. As we talk about ethics, as we talk about what's the right way to serve the customer well, if you're coming from a place where you have that kind of faith background and you really value it and you live by it, I think it actually helps you in making the kinds of decisions that really are going to set the tone for cultures of organizations and for business, hopefully in our city and in other cities around the country and around the world. So if I'm an investor, I think I could look at someone who's gone through a program like Ocean and say, what this person had because of their character, because they've been willing to even choose something like this instead of another accelerator, does it tell me something about how legitimate they would be as a leader? Is there an advantage that they may have in terms of being able to say, listen, I purposely designed this business according to not only what would be right for the market, but what I thought would be right for the people we're trying to serve. And here's the level of which I went to invest in that. I think as an investor, that would be an interesting data point to consider, and at least something to explore, to say this person might have an advantage over someone with an equal idea, equal maybe concept that might be equally as profitable or equally as lucrative from a market standpoint. But there's something different, there's an X factor. When I think about people who do well in business long term, I think all of us would say it's the person who at some point becomes legitimate and trustworthy. Because you can fool somebody one time and you can make a killing fooling people one time, but the people who are successful in business over the long term, they're trustworthy, they're consistent, their yes is their yes. And I think that's why people over time continue to rally to them, bring resources to them, work for them, whatever the situation may be.